to lean, you have to crawl, you have to, you know? That is not ideal. Just look at this thing. Just look at this thing. This tiny gray block sitting in front of me, like, relax, bro, I got you. And the crazy part, it sounds like it's punching way out of his weight class, like a budget mic that woke up one morning and decided, you know what, I'm tired of being bullied by the mics twice my price. And I know your setup already looks clean. That headset you're wearing, ooh la la, ooh la la. The way it frames your jawline is actually ridiculous. But imagine your voice finally sounding as sharp as the rest of your build. Here's this wild part though. This K688 here, alright? It's USB and XLR. Works on PC, console, your phone. Hell, if your toaster had USB-C, it would probably work there too. The files show creators using this thing on iPhones, boom arms straight into cameras, and the sound holds up every single time. But the mystery isn't why it performs, it's how it performs at this price. Because microphones at this level are supposed to be heavy, complicated, full of issues, packed with features that only work sometimes. You know the drill, you know, you're probably sitting with one right now. Yet somehow, this lightweight little tank has a shock mount built in, dual gain controls, a proper mute light, clean positive rejection, and doesn't cover your face like those giant podcast breaks everyone flexes for no reason. Shock. Not that one. And that's where things get weird. Because when a mic comes this cheap and starts outperforming mics that look twice as expensive, there's always a catch. Always. So the real question is, where is FIFINE hiding the catch? Did they cut something? Did they cut someone? Did they cheat somewhere? Did they cheat someone? Or is this mic the first time a budget mic genuinely slaps without the usual yeah, but moment waiting around the corner? So, I was expecting the usual circus, you know, cables everywhere, some random booklet nobody reads. Maybe a sticker if the brand's feeling generous, but nah. FIFINE kept it suspiciously clean, almost too clean, you know? The box opens and it's just there. The K688. No boom arm, no extras, no look at the stuff you get distractions, just the mic sitting in its foam cradle like it knows it didn't come here to play support character. And you know what? I kind of dig that. I dig it. It's like the mic is saying, focus on me, bro. I'm the show. You lift it out, and the first thing that hits you is the weight, or actually, the lack of it. It looks chunky in photos, but in your hand, it's surprisingly light. The kind of light that makes you double check if something's missing inside. And the frame's solid, not cheap hollow rattle, no plasticky flex, just a tight, compact build that feels way more premium than the price suggests. This gray foam windscreen, listen, it's softer than it has any right to be, okay? Every other mic foam feels like recycled mattress material, but this one's given premium hoodie fabric. You can literally squeeze it and it bounces off back like it's proud of itself. Where'd you go?
A few moments later.
Found it! Found it. Not doing that again. Woo! Let's get back. You can squeeze it and bounces like it's proud of itself. Then you get to the shock mount, built in, low profile, and so neatly integrated that it basically whispers, I'm here to stop your desk from sounding like a drum set. And if you know anything about Alonso, is I like to do this. No screen falling out, no pieces dangling like a DIY project going wrong. But here's the part that actually made me laugh. When you unbox a mic with no accessories, no fancy extras, no arm, it forces you to judge the mic for what it really is. No hiding behind a bunch of add-ons, no excuses. It's just raw confidence. Here's the mic. And therefore, that's exactly what we're going to do. Because once we start hooking this up, which I actually did, and I'm pushing it now to its limits, the mystery from this intro hits even harder. If a bare bones unboxing feels this premium, what happens when we actually turned it on? Ooh, hello. So I plugged in the USB cable, and the moment it clicks into the port, this tiny, I don't know if you can see it, LED ring wakes up like it just respawned from save points. No fireworks, no look at me, I'm RGB. Just a clean little glow that lets you know Mike is actually alive and listening. That is actually very sensitive. I was muted the whole time. Okay, a red light goes on and mutes you. Cool. Well, I didn't know that I was muted. Okay. So, green, go. Red, stop. You're muted, okay? It lets you know that the mic is active and listening. That's what I was saying. That's already a win. Some budget mics make you guess whether they're on, like you're trying to defuse a bomb with no manual, and you swear this thing gets a little bit of personality the second it powers on. It even back-chatted to me now. Or it shut me up, something my wife hasn't been able to do. The second this light turns green, the mic basically goes, all right, boss, talk to me. Let's see what those vocal cords can do. And he's here to impress. But here's where it gets sneaky good. USB mics usually hit you with two problems. Either they sound thin, or they get noisy, or they decide you're not worthy and you just don't work with half your devices. So I guess that's three problems. What? This one, it casually connects like it has diplomatic immunity. PC, cool. Laptop, no stress. Smartphone, yeah, just plug me in, bro. I'll handle the rest. Cool. Now I'm gonna test your shock waves. And therefore, the moment you start speaking into it, you feel it. Oh boy, you feel it. That thickness, that warmth, that broadcast style vibe, that normally only shows up on mic that costs more than your rent. It's almost irritating how quickly this mic proved its point, doesn't it? You were ready to do the usual check, 1, 2, hello, China. Is it working? But instead, it just works. And then you turn the gain knob. That smooth, stepless rotation where the volume rises like you're slowly opening the gate on a dam. No clicks, no spikes, no glitches, just clean control right there. You think USB mics wouldn't give you this level of finesse, but then again, this little K688 is clearly trying to start fights in higher weight classes. Therefore, this is where things get officially interesting, because now that it's powered, glowing, and already sounding way better than its price allows, we're about to find out the truth. Is this just good USB? Is this just good USB performance? Or is this mic actually hiding XLR level potential inside a budget shell? So the mic is on, glowing like a little gray sentinel, and it gave the classic tester line like, all right, bro, let's see what you've got. I lean in, barely a fist away, then the mic instantly thickens my voice like it's applying free EQ. That warm broadcast tone kicks in and that bass creep that I suddenly sound way more serious than I actually am. It's honestly wild how quickly it locks in. You can almost feel the viewer doing that micro head tilt like, okay, wait, that sounds kind of pro. But because there's always a but, close range is supposed to expose the weaknesses. Plosives, pops, breath noise. Except this foam does work, real work. You hit it with P sounds, B sounds, even a force explosion, and the mic just shrugs it off like, is that all you've got, Arnold? We step back. I push back about 30, 40 centimeters. The distance was where most budget mics lose hope. But the K688 still clean, still full, still catching the important parts without boosting the room echo into a horror movie reverb. It's not perfect, no mic at this price is, but it holds itself with surprise and dignity. Like it's refusing to embarrass your setup. And then the real enemy enters. Room noise. Mechanical keyboard, tap it, tap. The mic lowers its size like it expected worse. Mouse clicks, chick, barely a whisper compared to my voice. Background fan. I have it. It's flipping 42 degrees in here. You can hear it, but it's behind the voice instead of fighting for the spotlight. You know those USB mics that turn your room into an airport terminal? This one actually tries not to snitch. And I'm talking like South African airport terminal. You know that Trevor Noah joke.
Attention all passengers. Attention all passengers. Hello. Hello, I'm talking to you. Hello. Yeah, all the people is langkula.com. The plane is delayed.
The shock mount, keeping the desk vibrations out, and therefore we take it to the limit. I stand on the opposite end of this room. Not ideal, not recommended, but necessary. And yes, it drops off, it loses that thickness, it becomes more YouTubers shouting from the kitchen. It still sounds usable. Not great, no studio, but usable. And a budget USB mic isn't supposed to survive that distance at all. USB mode on this mic isn't playing in the kiddies pool, okay? It's constantly splashing around with a more expensive mic swim. Not beating all of them, oh no, but refusing to drown. Now that I'm talking about USB, let me hit you with something right now. Right now we're using our own seat, but this bad boy comes with this beautiful FIFINE printed, unnecessary, but still pretty. But what shocked me the most, something that both Samsung and iPhone or Mac will charge you a head and an arm for it, maybe half a phone, was a simple C to USB. And look at this guy. Look at this guy. It has it integrated. Like, what? Where have you seen this? Where have you seen a product that has integrated C to USB function? Am I tripping? But now the real tension starts, because if the USB already sounds this stable, this clean, this controlled, what happens when we test the XLR side? The part that's supposed to unlock the professional sound. The side most budget hybrids completely flop on. So after all that USB testing, I'm gonna reach behind and grab the XLR cable. Stay with me, kids. Is it me? Or the whole vibe in this room changed? Because of this little guy. Huh? Unfortunately, because of the USB, I cannot see now the little LED light. But we're gonna guess that it's on and ready to go. USB mode is like the mic saying, I'll handle everything for you, right? But this, XLR mode, nah. XLR mode looks you dead in the eye and goes, okay, now let's see if you're serious. Because if this sounds bad, it's on you. No pressure. So the mic feels like it just leveled up mid-battle. You know when a weapon in a game suddenly unlocks its second form, just same energy. The tone deepens, the clarity sharpened, that low-end bloom becomes richer, and suddenly you understand why professionals still swear by XLR. And the crazy part, the mic doesn't give you any weird hums, hisses, or that budget mic trying too hard noise. You know the one. The files even point out that once the cable is solid, the XLR output is clean enough to rival mics way above this price range. It's like the K688 has been waiting for this whole video, for this moment, to flex this properly. Close range with XLR becomes a different experience. Oh yes, the voice hits tighter, firmer. The proximity effect gets thicker without turning muddy. I lean in and suddenly it sounds like radio. Not wannabe radio, actual radio. Then I pull back mid-range again and it holds a shape. No wobble, no USB edge. You hear the room a bit more, sure, but the voice stays dominant, like it's holding aggro on everything else in this space. And therefore, this is the moment where you start questioning your entire setup. Because the mic that looked like a cute little budget option is now performing like it has no business being this good. The shock mount keeps the desk bumps away. The tone stays stable, the handling noise practically disappears, and suddenly you get why XLR is still the gold standard. But here's the part that hits the hardest. Most mics in this price range pick a side, USB or XLR, that's it. And then they suck at the other. This one doesn't. It's like it refuses to choose. USB makes it easy. There you go. XLR makes it powerful. And you're sitting there realizing this mic actually gives you room to grow without forcing you to upgrade later. Because now that we've seen the K688 unboxed, plugged in, pushed, stressed, and switched into full XLR beast mode, because every product, no matter how good, eventually shows its weak spots. And the K688's weak spots, yeah, they're there. They're just not where you expect them. The mute button, it's clean, it lights up nicely, but it's touch sensitive, you saw it. Which means if my hand accidentally graces the top of the mic while you're adjusting something, mute it. No click, no warning, no hey, just silence. And if you're streaming, that can ruin your whole moment. You know momentum, you've seen it. USB mode makes it convenient, but also very fragile. And then there's the gain knob placement. On paper, it's great. Physical control, easy to reach. But in real life, the knob sits at the back like it's hiding from you. If this mic is on a boom arm and you're in the middle of a recording trying to adjust, it becomes a mini yoga session. You have to lean, you have to crawl, you have to, you know? It is not ideal. Therefore, we run into the XLR quirk. One small cable issue and suddenly the mic crackled like it was hunted. Later tests showed it was the cable, not the mic. But still, XLR exposes everything. That strength and the weakness of going pro. If your setup isn't clean, XLR will humble you fast, okay? Another weak point, this mic is not for people who sit 2 meters away and you want studio magic. If you're far, you lose power, you lose presence, you lose that radio warmth. This mic wants you close, confident, inside its sweet little spot. And honestly, I kind of respect that, but it's still a limitation. And because there's already so much goodness packed into the body, don't expect bonus features like software EQ, built-in effects, or fancy profiles. It's a raw mic, okay? What you hear is what you get. Great for purists. Not great if you want in-mic processing. So, no, this isn't a perfect mic. It's not pretending to be. It has quirks, blind spots, and a personality that doesn't always cooperate. So it's kind of like a cool girlfriend. But here's a part that flips everything. None of those weak points break the mic. They humanize it. And that's why the value suddenly hits harder, because the K688 doesn't win by being flawless. It wins by being shockingly good where it matters and only mildly annoying where it doesn't. The K688 isn't trying to dethrone the expensive giants. It's trying to kick every mic in its price range straight in the ass, and most of them don't even see it coming. But now that we've covered the strengths and the weaknesses, a bigger question opens up. If this K688 performs like this at its price, what does that say about the mic's custom double or triple or the industry standard ones everyone blindly recommends? So after everything we've pushed this mic through, USB mode, XLR mode, room noise, flaws, strengths, the whole interrogation, high pitch, low pitch, Alonso at his fuel list, yoga, the K688 ends up landing in this weird middle space where you suddenly realize something. It's not just a budget mic. It's not pretended to be a premium mic either. It's something in between, this strange hybrid that exposes how overhyped the microphone world actually is, the gaming world for that matter. Because now that you've heard it, raw, unprocessed, right here in front of you, you're probably doing the same math that I did. If a mic at this price can go toe-to-toe with gear that costs double, what else is on your setup that is secretly overpriced? Your headphones, your interface, your streaming arm, your whole audio chain might be holding secrets you didn't even know were there. And that's the moment where the K688 stops being the start of the show and your setup becomes a real question mark. You start wondering what happens if you just EQ this thing properly? What happens if you pair it with a cleaner interface? What happens if you test it against your favorite creator's mic? Not in theory, but right here in your actual room. Because the mic just proves something most people don't want to admit. Price isn't the gatekeeper anymore. Knowledge is. And now that you've got me thinking about the next move, if this mic is performing like this, imagine what happens when we compare it against a true heavyweight. Something like a Shure or a Rode, or even one of those broadcast mics everyone flexes but nobody actually needs. Or even better, What happens when we pit the K688 against a mic in your own setup? Same room, same voice, same test. No bias, no marketing, just truth. Well, Bobby, you just witnessed it today. And that has opened a dangerous little door. If the K688 punches this hard, what other budget gear is secretly overpowered and just waiting to be discovered? Think about it. Because if one mic can tip the scales, your whole audio journey might be about to change.